We're back again, folks. Another movie review. This is going to be the third review in this franchise. A Quiet Place, Day One, directed by Michael Sarnoski. 1 hour and 38-minute runtime, and this movie came out in 2024. And I kept going back and forth if I wanted to see it in theaters, as I had seen the other films. But lo and behold, I rented it on Amazon Prime, $5.99, 48-hour rental. So we watched it a couple of nights ago. Did you guys have nightmares at all?
No. Nope.
Were you terrified?
I didn't really have any nightmares.
You sleep in the same room so you're not scared?
No.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so this movie takes place in New York City. It is a tie-in to the franchise of the other movies that we have seen that was co-created by John Krasinski. This movie was originally based off of a script and was set to be directed by a guy named Jeff Nichols. He does a lot of movies that take place in the South. It had a $67 million budget, and it was a commercial success. It went on to gross $261 million at the box office. The ad campaign for this movie was insane. It seemed like everywhere I turned, I'd see commercials for this, social media, television, you name it. So Jeff Nichols dropped out. His script, whatever, he didn't write it. Krasinski then had seen Michael Sarnoski's directorial debut, a film called Pig, which is an indie movie starring Nicolas Cage. And I do recall that Nicolas Cage said that the movie Pig was one of the favorite roles that he's ever acted, one of his favorite films that he's been in your 30-plus career. I have yet to see Pig. I have heard good things about it prior to me reading briefly into it for this review today. We might have to put that on the review list. Now, again, this movie, it's a standalone movie that's tied into the Alien franchise of A Quiet Place, the other part 1 and 2 that we have talked about, right? Mm-hmm. So the lead actress, last name, I can't even pronounce it. I'm not going to even try. So this is interesting. The main gal, Owango, I think her last name is, she's terrified of cats. She wanted the director to pick another animal to play alongside of her. However, they refused, and the studio Paramount also wanted them to use a CGI cat, but the director pushed for a real cat. 2 cats ended up being used in the production of the film. That being said, she overcame her fear of cats with cat therapy. Have you ever heard about that? People that are deathly afraid of cats?
Nope. They're scared of cats and they need cat therapy.
What do you think they're afraid of about cats? If you could think of why would someone be afraid of a cat?
Well, of course, because they could scratch you and stuff.
Yeah.
And they bite you. But if you have nice cats, like if you treat them nicely, they'll be
my son here is an expert on cats.
The most important thing that you would be afraid of is if they licked your cuts, it would amputate your limb.
Oh, yeah, you can get an infection. Mm-hmm. Now, we have 2 cats, both of which have just recently been to the vet. One of them had an infection. $400 for antibiotics to cure my cat's woes. Anyway, back to the film. So the movie takes place in Manhattan. Commercially a success. The cat in the film, it was named Frodo. There was, like I said, 2 cats. That wasn't their real names. Be that as it may. Lots of things going on in this movie. Aliens, explosions, craziness. And then I started thinking about it. Does it measure up to the first 2 films? I do not think so. So the Rotten Tomato critic average for this movie is 87%. That being said, the audience average was only 72%. IMDb 6.3 out of 10. Google users with 6,000 people reporting in, only 6,000 people reporting in, 2.6 out of 5. That is an incredibly low score. And I want to know what you guys think about this movie before I talk about it.
The other one had a franchise that just seems better to me.
Okay.
The music in the background.
Yeah.
That was good. The music.
So you like the original 2 movies better?
The original 2 were better because they were more focused. I think.
Okay.
I think, at first I think that I was enjoying it, and then I thought about it. It does not measure up to the original 2 movies, like Samuel back there was saying.
And they didn't include the song, so.
You didn't? So what about you?
So I think the movie was pretty good, but I still feel like it doesn't measure up to the second one enough.
Did you like the second one the best?
Yeah, I feel like the second one was the best one. The first one, I'm pretty sure, is a 4 out of 5, and then the third one, I'll tell you what it is.
I'm gonna go 3 out of 5 on the
We'll
third
tell
one.
you
That's what I was
what
gonna
our
say.
reviews are at
3
the
out of 5.
end.
I'm 3 out of 5.
I
He's
feel
3 out of
like-
5. What about you? You could give
4
whatever
out of
review you
5.
want.
10 out of 5.
You're a 10 out of 5. Okay, so he's kind of a mid-range, which is kind of agreeing with what we're saying. What about you, Samuel?
Now, 4 out of 5.
Oh, you did like it.
The rest were 5 out of 5.
Okay, so you're still not up to the... It's an okay movie, but it just does not reach the level of the original 2 for me.
Yeah.
I love part 1. I love the characters. I love the kids. This movie had a completely different view. The main character is dying of cancer. Huge spoiler alert. So it's kind of a life and death thing, but she's already facing her mortality. So maybe she's proceeding through this alien-infested world with a little bit more of a carefree attitude.
I don't like it at the end.
Yeah, go ahead.
How she just sacrifices herself to the aliens. Well,
Spoiler alert.
well, she did. Yeah, she just.
I bet you're not going to people are going to be watching this because they know.
I'll have to put spoiler alert.
Headphones.
Yeah.
And then just turned the music.
She was already dying anyway, though, and she accomplished everything that she wanted to do with the rest of her remaining hours.
She said
And
that.
including saving a stranger's life, right? So there's some good parts of the movie. She sacrificed herself to save somebody else. They played off Lord of the Rings adventures a lot, even so the cat's name was Frodo in the movie. The director, Michael Sarnoski, said he took a lot of inspiration from one of my friend Eric's favorite films, Children of Men. Highly recommend that movie. Haven't reviewed it here, but it's another one of those movies that you should check out. We have anything else we want to add before we wrap things up?
No? Just like you said, I'm an expert at cats, but you guys can talk about it maybe.
That cat, okay. That cat, I feel like in real life, because we have cats, that cat would have been terrified of a lot of the situations. And it kind of it was so not afraid.
So
It was almost like a supernatural peace through the cat
Well,
that transcended to the
But what
characters.
do you
think about it. Cats are very calm, so I feel like that cat wouldn't have. I feel like that was I feel like it's not perfect, but yeah.
It's a movie, right?
Mhm.
Cats are really.
It's
really
definitely.
Were you entertained?
Yes, I was entertained.
Were you scared? It had a few scares, but not too
If
bad.
you stuck with
That's
a
kinda
yowling
scary.
cat, you would definitely die.
that cat was like
Cats don't meow very much. My cat Marie,
survive
once a day probably, once a day.
Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.